So before we jump into today's video, guys, I want to put it out there. All the merch we've got stocked back up at BruceWilsonShop.com. It's 25% off across the board. All of our blue collar shirts with the blue collar truck on them, you know, those look really sick. Those are all going to be marked down, and we are blowing them out. Blue collar trucking, the Working Man's brand, all these are going to be marked down. Probably we're going to have the 25% off site-wide, and we're going to be marking these down even more. And these are the blue collar trucking established in 2020. All this stuff, it's got to go. And even our Will It Start shirts and our blue collar, or I'm sorry, the Trout Taxi stuff, all that stuff 25% off. Our keychains, stickers, air fresheners, all of it. So go to BruceWilsonShop.com, grab your merch. There were a few people that had stuff on back orders, guys, and we're waiting on a few shirts to show up for the Trout Taxi stuff. I do apologize. And there were a few orders that kind of had some stuff not shipped that should have been shipped, and it's all been handled. You should be seeing all that stuff out in the next couple days. So let's jump into today's video. Welcome back, boys and girls. We have a banger for you today. We are putting a ginormous locomotive-sized turbo on old business expense here. But first things first, we gotta get the old one off, and we gotta take some measurements and go get some custom oil feed lines and hoses from Bullfrog Speed Shop. All right, we're gonna have to open it from the fenders, I think, from now on. That's not too bad. There we go. All right, let's go find this turbo on the other side. Watch out for my wings. Don't touch them. Big bad unit right there. This thing's huge too, you know. This thing is massive. All right, let's see about getting this one off, because the feed line right here and the drain line are some special stuff. And this ain't looking too good for our new one, honestly, because the way that goes on there, see that? I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, so first things first, let's get this intercooler pipe out of our way. So we're gonna buzz that boy loose right there. And a couple issues we're gonna run into right off the rip is these intercooler elbow here is not the same for the turbo that we've got over there. So we're gonna have to make some slight custom parts, I think, and see what we can come up with. But for now, we can get this one off, get the new Turbski bolted up on here, and start coming up with a game plan, because can't figure it out if we don't start on it. So I'm not gonna let you guys sit here and just guess while we stash that old ugly turbo off what the new one looks like. We've got ourselves a 75-pound big boy. This is a Hartz 4.1-inch inducer smooth bore turbo. And this is what is required to have the pulling class we're going to be in. We're not going to be going too crazy competitive in the 4.1-inch class, but I figure we'll go ahead and get the right turbo to start off with, and we'll build from there. And we've got a Hartz guillotine, and we had to have the guillotine. It's not the whole reason I bought the Hartz turbo, but Hartz makes a really awesome guillotine. What this does is if this diesel engine runs away, this thing stays up like that all the time when the truck's running, right? Then if this thing was to run away, you have a cable that goes all the way back to the trucks. When you're hooked to the sled, it'll snatch a pin out of there and boom, shuts that boy off real quick, just like that. And what that does, it shuts off air flowing into the diesel engine, because that's the only way to shut off a runaway diesel. So, and this right here slides right over that snout, just like that. And you can see right down through there, everything. So, oop, lost my hat. Just like that. So, pretty cool piece of equipment here. But that's what holds it on there, and that's how it works. So, we're going to see about getting that old turbo off, getting this new one on. This one's got some different drain lines and feed lines that are on it compared to what's on the truck now. So we're going to have to make some adaptations. See that feed line right there. So, oh, she's already got oil in her. And the compressor outlet is a little bit different there. The exhaust flange is the same there. So let's go get this old one off and we'll move forward from there. All right, let's get these clamp off here. You guys can already see right off the rip something that looks different compared to the turbo sitting in there on the table is this intercooler pipe here, and the way that goes on the outside there. This is a pretty standard setup. The one that's in there is like Caterpillar stuff. So the next thing I'm worried about is like this big turbo we're putting on here blowing these intercooler boots apart. So it's something we're gonna have to figure out. Maybe not today, but at a later date, we're gonna have to do something about that. So that's something else to think about. We have to rig up some kind of a device that holds the pipes from blowing apart. I know I'm really vague here, but we're gonna figure all this out together. Get this exhaust off. We've had a lot of turbo stuff lately, you know? Not something we normally do. Because our tractor pull, our first pull is this coming Friday in Ocala, Florida. See, this is something else. I don't know if this is going to be the right flange for that turbo. So we'll set that right there for now. I don't think it is. We're going to find out though. I think that one right there is, and we'll have to weld that pipe to it. Or bolt this back up, I guess. So let's find out. I think that right there will go right on the back of the flange over there. It should. And don't discount this turbo. This is a big boy. Like, this is a big turbo. No doubt about that. Looks like I grabbed two 13s instead of a 9/16. Crap. All right. I need a couple 9/16 sockets. Hold on. I guess I'll just have to make a 14 millimeter do, because I don't know where my 9/16s are. Looks like it fits. So this is the oil feed. This is like the factory Caterpillar style oil feed line. That square O-ring on top. This is like a direct replacement turbo for this truck. They must have ordered it for a cat replacement setup. So there's that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get my impact in here, maybe. This is the drain line. So oil blows into the top of the turbo and drains at the bottom. That's how it gets lubricated. There's the other drain tube. All right, there's all that. Now we should be able to start unbolting our turbo. And we got nice, beautiful 12-point stuff on there. So those are probably, oh, check that out, boys. Shoot. It's like someone put anti-seize on them. Thanks to whoever did that. I really do appreciate that, actually. That one we're going to have to use a wrench on. Oh, whole stud came out with that one. All right, let's go grab a couple wrenches right quick. All right, we'll get these other nuts loosened up on here. We'll get this boy off. All right, Heavy Daddy's about to come off here. God, these turbos are so big. It's just as big as that one almost. All right. Well, I see our first problem. We have a divided housing here, and our turbo is not divided. So my curiosity is, right, we've got what's called a divided housing here, okay? And the turbo is non-divided. Basically, it's wide open like that on the inside. And I don't know all the specifics on the reason why we don't do things, but I've got a T6 gasket non-divided we can put there and bolt up, and it should work. I know it'll work. I just don't know if it's going to affect the way the truck spools the turbo or anything like that. And you can see this one, it's been leaking in between anyways, and it's actually cracked. So I'm not sure. I'm waiting on my buddy Brian Caparelli to shoot me a message back and see what he says. But right now, while we're waiting on that, we're going to be getting rid of this AC compressor. And pretty much everything right here that we don't need is getting gone. So for now, we're going to cut these belts off here. And we're going to go to Napa and try to match belts that are just for the alternator to the drive clutch down there, or the balancer, I'm sorry. All right, so now what I want to do is take one of these belts here, and we're going to put it around the fan again, and I'm going to cut it. Oh, that's sharp on my arm. That did not feel good. There we go. I'll put that right there. I'm going to cut this belt to where I think it's the right length. And we're going to go to Napa and try to find the right belt. So let's cut these a couple inches out of it first, and we'll put it up there to it and check it again. Alright, so there's that. Well, we're still a little long. It's about an inch or so. So this is the process I'm taking to find the right belt. So we'll measure it and go to Napa and say, hey, we need this long of a cogged belt. I think that's it right there. So we need to go to Napa and find a belt that's this long. But before we do that, that one right there, that one's garbage. We'll go and get the AC compressor pulled off this boy. When we go to Bullfrog, we'll find some fittings for these. Actually, we may wait to do the heater hose delete and stuff, because we're going to be putting a new radiator in it from our friends over at Icebox Performance. We'll have that in a couple days, so maybe we'll wait on that. So we're at a predicament here. Our drain pipe, I don't think, is going to work with the new turbo. I know for a fact it's not. So because of the way that slides down into that drain hole there. So we're either going to have to cut this one and find a steel bung to go onto there and shove it back down in there, which I think is what's going to have to happen. So in order to do that, we need to go to the speed shop and find some parts. I think Jeremiah's got some steel bungs down there to do that with. Also, we need to get the AC compressor off of here, and I want to paint like all of this. Mustang driver, guaranteed. Yep. So, but before we put this nice pretty turbo on here, I want to get rid of the AC compressor. I want to try to spray paint this whole firewall here, make it all black. So we're going to get this stuff removed, go to the speed shop before they close for the weekend, because we are pulling Friday night, literally 6 days away, right? So we have so much to do. We're going to be putting a new radiator in it, turbo, injectors. I mean, like, we have all the safety stuff we still have to do for dry shaft loops. Like an insane amount of stuff. It's going to be like pull truck every day this week. So, but I want to go to the speed shop so we can get this turbo on here before the weekend. So we're going to get this line off here. Let me go get some more tools. All right, let's get this off of here. Of course, this boy's probably been on there for 20 years. Ah. Jeez. I probably need a bigger pry bar, I'm sure. There we go. All right. That's broke loose. Of course it is. I knew it would be not what I wanted it to be. Flat face O-ring, you crapper. That's all right. I think that Jeremiah's got some fittings up there, or we may have some over here we can make work. But, or Napa, something like that. We need to buzz this right here loose and see if this is something we can tap. The problem is this is like cast iron, I'm sure, and maybe they have a tap up there at the place with things. All right, let's buzz this boy out of here. Uh-oh. All right, there's that. Of course, phone's gonna ring and tool's gonna drop. All right, we've got our fitting or adapter off here that goes to that block. What I'd like to do is go to the machine shop and see if maybe we can tap this and put a fitting down in it. If not, we'll find something to weld onto this boy right here. So we'll take this with us, we'll take this with us, and I guess we'll take the turbo. Well, let's go. All right, this is the team mover right here. You shouldn't be one person. I'm gonna need you to sit in the front seat and hold this. I need you to sit in the back seat because this is gonna go in the front seat with a seatbelt on it. Actually, you can ride in the bed of the truck. Dang. Open the door today, pal. I'm about to slap you. All this crap in here. All right. As long as we don't hit the brakes, we'll be good. Up here to Bullfrog, and they don't have a tap that's big enough, so what we're going to do is just put that back in there and put a cut on this and slide a piece of high temp hose over it. But they're using this fancy boring machine over here. Let's check it out. This thing's pretty slick, ain't it? So it's opening the bore at the same time automatically. So it opens the...
Yeah, the hole up to whatever side board to go.
So you don't have to stop and adjust the bit or nothing. So when it's doing that bumping like that, what is it doing there? Adjusting the...
It's blowing at the bottom of the cylinder because the bottom of the cylinder was tight, so it knew it.
Oh.
It knew where to go.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Your block is in here.
This is a little LS?
No, your diesel block.
Yeah. Is this an LS though?
This is an LT.
Okay.
LT1, the later model.
That's sweet, ain't it?
Yeah.
I don't think you can fit a Caterpillar block right here though.
I'm not sure we can fit that one.
You got liners, so it don't really matter, I guess, but that's cool. All right, let's find our fittings we need. So we need a fitting to go over here, but it needs to be barbed so we can put a hose over this and the fitting. So that looks like dash 12 maybe, or 10, 12. Is that 12? Yeah, it's definitely bigger than that. Oh yeah. Next size up. Color doesn't matter. Have to get on Jeremiah's case about getting some more fittings in stock. Yeah. Yep, that screws on there. So it's a 12.
How can you make a 45?
Let's think about this for a second. Hold on. Because this boy bolts on. So we went down to Bullfrog and got a bunch of fittings, and as it turns out, I had like all the fittings but one here. And we went to Napa and got some other stuff, but we've got our turbo drain, right? And the issue is going from, we cut it, from this or even that to a fitting like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and weld that boy just like that. I cut the backside off what was used to be there. We're going to weld that up so that it sticks out like that. And then we have a drain we can actually connect to, which is similar to what's on the turbo. So I'm going to bolt this back up. Another day out here at Wilson Fab. Bolt this thing back up. Oh, find the right bolts here. Right there they are. And start fabbing up our drain thing here. All right. There's that. Now, you know, I wonder if we were to take and flip this manifold backwards, flip it over, pull it off, flip it over. I don't know. Or just run it how it is for now, I reckon. All right, so Pop's got us putting a vise here. We're gonna put some tack welds around it carefully. That helps we turn it on, I reckon.
What you got it set on, Mom?
Turn the gas on. Just turn down. Let's get rid of this. One day I'll learn how to TIG weld. Bitch, come on. I think that's good enough. I mean, if it leaks oil, then we'll just put a little bit more on it, but. Probably should go put her in the water before we smoke our O-ring. Just finding an O-ring to match that's not going to be easy. I'm going to leave this here for Ryan to clean up later.
Always, you know.
All right, no more squeaking in this video when this truck starts up.
I don't even
The
have
people, there you go. Ryan did you guys a favor. You're not going to hear him squeaking and screaming and hooting and hollering like a little girl. He did that because y'all hurt his feelings in the comments.
No,
Yeah, you're soft.
I am not soft. Just see if we change it.
All right, so I guess first things first, next things next. We need to unbolt the turbo from the exhaust housing because we're going to have to clock this thing. So let's get the compressor housing off of there. Get our impact. I'm hungry. I'm so hungry.
Food's coming.
I know. This table's about to break in half. Alright. Got to see this. Holy crap, look how big that boy is. Dang. So, the biggest reason, even though we could run a smaller turbo, but legally we can't because you see that groove right down in there? That where my finger's catching? That lets air come in here and go into the wheel also. See how this is smooth all the way around? So even though we have a bigger turbo here with a bigger opening, this one can almost perform just as well because it has air going in everywhere. So this is what we got to work with. Set that right there. Oh, this thing's huge. So we got to pull this turbo completely apart. We pulled the compressor housing off because we've got to clock it the way we want it. Whenever they assemble these, they just kind of stick them together because they know you're going to pull them back apart to put it where you need it. So we'll get the exhaust housing bolted on there first, and then we'll put the center section on, get the oil lines and drain lines put on there. And we've got our fitting right there all done. Dad got it painted for us. Let it dry while we take this thing apart. Hopefully our pizza shows up soon. There she is. That's where all the money's at. turn this over because we're not putting that on right now. All right. Now I can put our exhaust housing on. Look how big this thing is. It's huge, ain't it? All the wind. Now we need to put our gasket on there. So like I said, we're going from a divided gasket to a non-divided. I talked to several people in the truck pulling community. They said this is okay. When you go to something this big, they quit doing divided housings. So let's hang that right there. We'll get one of these started in it, and then we'll put a stud in it.
It's heavy.
It is. Here we go. All right, we snug those down with the impact. I'm going to snug them down with the wrench, so we ain't overdoing it. This exhaust not working. This flange should go, boom, check that out, just like that. So we can reuse our hood stack. It's a plus. All right. Now let's get our center section set in here and figure out which way we need to clock it. Very carefully. No, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Ooh, baby. So we want it on a little bit of an angle, or do we want it like, oh, we gotta watch how this is, because, well, that ain't no bueno. See how that's, huh, we're gonna figure this can undermount. All right, so we're gonna have to go to a different style fitting right here possibly, so I'm gonna break it loose carefully. Should be just an O-ring holding it in there, I'm sure, hopefully. And maybe we can change it to something a little bit shorter to make it clear that exhaust housing on the bottom. I swear, these dang Mustang drivers. All right, hold that. Cut. No. So we're back from eating pizza for lunch. We're gonna try to make this Terpsky fit on here. This boy has got to fit today. No more playing around. Oh my goodness. What the heck? It's hitting right there. See it?
Yeah.
I think that other fitting we have, we might be able to make it work. Let's go get it. It's really unfortunate that there's like no other, this exhaust housing is so freaking big, and you can't, I mean, we might could put it right there with that 45 would be, but then that, it's just gonna be like so much of a bend going down to that, back over to there to that. Crap. Well, let's get that 45, see what we're looking like. All right, so I may have come up with a solution here. So we can use a couple different things. We just got to test the length on it here. I found some hose that we got in a kit a while back that we're not using. So, ow. This is just complicated. Get 'em. Hit 'em. bust this loose. Then we're going to change this fitting out for a 90, which should be okay. I mean, it's still going downhill, right? We will know when we start this thing up and it's like pouring oil out of the back of it or something, but we should be okay. So we'll put that right there. If I snug that boy down, we should be good to go. Why isn't it coming off? What the heck? There we go. One more turn on it. Make her even. I need to turn this. I think it's so like right there at the verge of hitting something. All right, well, we know what's going to work, so let's get that pointed the right way. This is going to have to go in there. So oh, this could work. We need this 45 to go on here. Right there. We got our blaster right here. I have to hold blaster cans upside down from work. It's crap. Bro. It's good douche. It's gonna work. Okay. And we got just enough hose here to make it work too. Alright. I'm gonna take care of this customer that walked in. This could work. Alright, we're gonna make some fittings here. These things are never easy to do. Drain pipe here. We're gonna get this kind of started on here a little bit and kind of get a rough idea where it needs to be cut at. So we want it to hold pressure, holding that fitting down in the hole there. So we got, say about right there. Let's go over to our chop saw and we'll cut her down. There we go. Evolution power saw is coming in handy from JB Tools. I've got us hopefully we'll have it soon, a big welding table right here. So we can be a little bit more professional with our things we're doing. But this is a cut metal blade, but it's gonna cut fast. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Got no power.
There you go. I was waiting on your light bulb to turn on upstairs. Ready? Oh, that didn't work. Oh no.
Oh, shoot.
It's alright, it's okay. We just care about the rubber on the inside, so we'll trim that up with a razor blade. That was a fail. I should have went slow, I guess. Ryan, why don't you tell me to go slow with it? Jeez.
Gee, I don't know. Thought you knew what you're doing.
Alright, we're gonna get rid of this hair here. Oh, it looks terrible. So there we have it. We have our drain tube made. We're some fart smellers, aren't we? I mean, smart fellers. We'll tighten this boy down into here. Thanks to Pops for helping us make that adapter there. I gotta wrench the right size. Oh. There we go. Let's go install it. Got our turbo put on. This one should be a lot more spinny, windy, noise making than the other one right there. Yeah, there we go. Oh boy, check that out. People are gonna cancel me if I keep making the noises you make.
Oh.
All right, let's snug her down. Yeah?
Yeah.
That looks good. You did a good job, Ryan. All right, what are we, like 20 minutes in this video? Another video again, putting a turbo on something. Fitting is on there and it fits. I mean, it is like maybe 5/1000ths of an inch between there. You can see daylight behind it. See it right there? Mm-hmm. So she clearanced. I ground her down a little bit. Fits. We're all tight. Now I need to put a feed line from right there up to here. And I'm pretty sure we can make one of those out of hydraulic hose because I've got everything to do that. And this turbo will be kind of installed. So one of the other fittings we bought from Bullfrog I thought we'd use, but we ended up not using because I pulled this one out of the top of the turbo. And it's a Boss O-ring style. And I have a Boss O-ring style swivel hydraulic fitting because that's what we're going to be used as a hydraulic hose for the oil feed. So this right here will screw right into there, and I think it'll look more cleaner than having stacked fittings like that. So we'll tighten that boy down in there just like so. I'll finish it off with a wrench or something like that in a second, but we'll take this, go just like that. Perfect. That's crazy how big like these fittings and stuff are compared to like running fittings and stuff on a like the Dodge trucks and stuff. Stuff's huge. So we'll snug this down right where I think I like it the best. Right there. So that's tight. And now we're going to snug this boy down. Probably need to grab a wrench. Looks like a 7/8, 15/16. Be right back. All right, now that I got the right size wrench, we can tighten this thing up. Should be in her home until we send a rod through the block on this thing. Who knows? Hopefully not, but hey, you never know. I guess I could have made that a little bit shorter, but that's okay. We need to make it where it ain't flopping, so we'll be able to put a zip tie right there. That'll take care of that. It's gonna look good. What do you think?
Yeah, looks good.
So, all right. Now we've got all this done. We can put our compressor housing on it. The turbo, crap. We gotta take this back loose and put oil in it. All right, well, let's take that back off, and we're gonna put oil in it, and I'm gonna get this compressor housing put on, and see what we're looking like with our guillotine on there too. All right, so I found some Yamalube 10W40. We just want to lube it up for the pre-startup. It's not like the permanent oil, so get this boy full. Oh, making a mess. This thing's gonna catch on fire. Oh shoot! Grab a rag. Housing turbo. We got the turbo head according to Ryan right here. Put this big old turbo head on there. This boy is huge. Should we tell people how much this thing costs? I'm sure everybody's wondering. This is why, like I said at the beginning of the video, I need you guys to go to brucewilsonshop.com, buy all the merch, because we're completely broke now, and buy more merch, because we're going to be broke this whole year, and we need all the money for merch possible. And don't forget, everything on the website's 25% off. So there's our guillotine. That's how it works, just like that. Sucking in the back of the alternator. Oh boy. Dang, too bad that horn won't go in there. You know, the rest of it would look sick. All right, we're about to get wet. Crap. Let's snug this thing down. We'll start it up. Don't want to go too much. All right. Will you set that on the table, please? Thank you, sir. I'm going to put the stack back on it. It's dang rain. Florida just cannot make up its mind. Like, it's not cold here at all. It's going to be chilly, but not like cold. All right, there's that. We don't need this stuff anymore, so you can take that. Don't need that, or this, or that. Okay. We do need this. We don't need that. Put this boy back here on the back of the turb ski again. Right there. Take this, run it down.
So hard to be quiet.
I know, I just don't want to tighten the clamps down with the impact because these are all stainless and that's how they break, so. Let me hold that right there, Lake. I think it needs to go kind of right there. We're going to have to adjust it, I'm sure, but. Right there. This stuff's sharp. All right, you can let go. All right. One hood stack installed. Snug it down. good enough.
Woo! Doggy!
Now if only the intercooler pipe worked.
How far off is it?
The thing is completely different. I guess we could weld it to it or have someone weld it. That might not be that bad of an idea, honestly. Who do we know that welds aluminum today? All right, there would be perfect. The problem is, it's like for future,
Yeah.
if we go to
I
different
guess you could just take it off here.
different stuff in the future, but that would work. We could just weld that to it. If we ever had to, you could always just do one clean cut right there, and that would come right off, because that doesn't need to be there anymore. We might be able to get it all done today.
Send it.
Clay's probably not at his shop though. I need to learn how to weld aluminum nice.
Dimes.
All right, let's pull it off. Let's start her up.
I have the machine for it.
I do too. I'm not that good. I'm not good enough to weld on a very expensive turbo. Nice. All the stuff falling. Make sure it's getting oil. A little rev, just a little bit. We don't want to overdo it yet. Needs to break in. It does rev like sound a little different than exhaust. So unfortunately, we can't find someone to help us weld this thing up. I'm just going to do it the right way, which we don't do that often. And order the piece that slides down in here, so we're not going to get any turbo action today driving or anything, unfortunately. But I've got the AC compressor pulled out of there. We're not using it anymore. And I went to Napa. I was looking for some 52-inch belts, and they had a 52-inch dual, which works perfect because we've got a dual belt kind of dealio here on the alternator, and it goes around the fan clutch up there. So I'm going to run this thing around the fan blades here, hopefully, and we'll get it put around that fan clutch. It's crazy how it just barely will fit around these things. I might have spoke too soon. I better be careful. Looks like it might work. Gotta be careful not to mess up this radiator we're gonna be replacing. Ow, biscuit. One more. There we go. Now we gotta loosen this boy up. Put her on there. Putting a new radiator in this thing in a couple days. I'm pumped. I've never changed a radiator in a semi-truck. And these boys are heavy. Heavy. Like 590,000 pounds. Is that your phone ringing?
Yeah.
Ryan. It might be your wife. The house might be on fire.
It's the welder maybe.
Come on now.
There you
Boom. Oh, we got a lot of adjusting to do on this here, boy. Dang. All right, so for anyone that has ever had to adjust an alternator on an old school semi, you know how much of a mother trucker these are, but it's all adjusted. Our belt's tight. Ooh, we gotta tighten this back up. I'll loosen that up. Better not forget that. Ooh, wrong way. All right, alternator's tight. I like getting rid of things that this truck does not need. We got rid of a couple heater hoses that were right here. When we do the radiator, I'm getting rid of all these valves because we do not need them anymore. Since there's no heater in the truck anymore, so I'm plugging these off with some big pipe plugs. Yeah, it feels good to be cleaning this thing up, making it look nice. I'm gonna find the right turbo flange to go on there. We've got to put air hoses to the front bumper still. Tomorrow, we're gonna come up here, get this firewall completely washed, paint it. I'm gonna be getting an edge monitoring system for the engine so we can watch like boost pressure, pyro, and maybe even back pressure, a few other things, so we can kind of see what this turbo is doing or not doing, along with the injectors that'll be here next week, are some mighty big boys. So let's get this stuff cleaned up. Well, guys, that's a wrap. Don't forget to go over to brucewilsonshop.com. Everything on the website is 25% off. We're moving merch, all the blue-collar trucking shirts. Those are, I'm going to be marking them way down. And once they're gone, they are gone for good. The blue-collar, that entire light-color gray line is gone for good. We're going to be rolling out some new merch in the next month or so. And working on a tractor giveaway. That's all I'm really going to say on that. But we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully doing some more work on the pulling truck. I've got a sneak peek at some other stuff that showed up for it. Right over here is a full interior kit from the Day Cab Company. Black button tuck, and it is going to look sick. And we've got a full Be Quiet sound deadener system right here we're going to be putting in there, from the floorboard, underneath the hood, the firewall, all that good stuff. This truck's going to be super powerful and super quiet and really nice on the inside. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash that like button, comment down below, and go to brucewilsonshop.com and grab your merch. Peace.